It's go time.
Fade in.
I need a username. And I have a great one. Little Kid Lover. That way people will know exactly where my priorities are at.
By the way, he gave me permission to touch him.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
How dare you?
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current date us.
Anytime there's women in it, make it gay.
This is the first time that we see a woman and the first time that we see a black woman in this area and this world.
But Mrs. Kennedy, Bambi's a baby deer.
Baby deer, put a chick in it, make her gay.
And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight and then watch the hair come back up again. I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
No, God!
The power of one.
And if you have a problem with that, come fight me. Physically. Bitch.
Has anyone taken
Power of two.
If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace.
The power of many.
You shout like that, they put you in jail right away.
Sexism in gaming.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
No trial, no nothing.
The games industry is diverse naturally. Not because anyone's making them be diverse. Because the world is diverse, you stupid mother.
F***ing pronouns! F***ing gender ambiguity!
You serious?
Journalists, we have a special jail for journalists.
Serious crap!
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
Weird.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that Hassan Piker? I'm coming to kill you! In Los Angeles, at your house!
Or in the ring.
No, in real life.
I don't know, Purple Sky. Maybe I'm the third person after all. Somebody pointed out to me on Twitter that my Twitter bio right now says it is their birthday. So apparently I'm no longer he, him. I'm a they, theirs. I don't know. It is what it is. Maybe it's because it's me and my wife. That could be it. It's their birthday because we have the same birthday. Hey, Oblivion, thank you. I will let her know. The funniest thing is we have we've got the 3 kids. And I was at work all day, and so she decorated the house, and they put up like little dad happy birthday balloon signs. And the funny part is that we just tucked him in and said goodnight to him, and she's like, none of them said happy birthday to me. It's like they all forgot it was her birthday for some reason. I'm like, guys, it's not just mine, it's hers too. But yeah, it's a weird thing having the same birthday as your spouse, especially because we have twins. And so given that we have twins, we only have 3 birthdays total in the house to have to keep track of. My oldest kid, the twins, and then the wife of mine. So it's a weird situation. Oh yeah, before we get into all the deets about all the juicy, awful, horrible stuff that's gone down today, because apparently it's my birthday and that's what we're going to talk about today, I decided to whip up a new shirt. Let me know what you guys think about this. It's on the shop, and I was inspired by Kotaku. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. We'll go like full screen here. Let me know if that one works for you guys or not. I might order one of these just to have a demo. I think it's a stroke of genius personally. The new Disney vice president, I did not. Is that a thing? I mean, there's a lot of breaking news. There's a lot of stuff going on. Oh yeah, the vid. So we're gonna talk about that in a few minutes. But honestly, that's actually not that big of a deal. Hey, Mahendra, are you on the other? Oh, you're on the podcast chat. Okay. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, where they confronted him and he drove off. Yeah. But no, so I created this shirt over the course of the last couple of hours while I was multitasking other stuff. I wanted to have so much stuff ready for tonight. I wanted to have a new article up. I wanted to have videos recorded for tomorrow. I wanted to have, fun birthday activities and shit to do on here. I had no time. See, Mahendra, now you're on the other chat. Yeah, I'm streaming to the podcast channel, which I've never done before. I just wanted to give it a shot because typically when I do these kind of things, I don't stream to Twitch or Kick because it's not a gaming stream, so I don't bother streaming to those. Hey, it looks like the bots on Twitter have found us tonight, though, guys. We are up to 93 total viewers, and I think most of those are bots on Twitter. So, hey, bots, how's it going? 2 channels live streaming is very confusing. Well, the only reason I even considered doing that tonight was the fact that I don't regularly upload content to the other channel. So I figure at least this way, if we cover some of the topics that I would normally post over there, this at least gives them something to view on the other channel. Especially because afterwards the live stream is viewable once it, finishes processing and all that. I know it can be confusing, but not everybody who follows the podcast channel follows this channel and vice versa. So it just gives everybody some options. Let's see, what else? Oh, while I'm actually thinking about it, I want to give a special shout out to... Where is he at? Last week, we got our very first channel member, and I want to give him a special shout out. I don't think he ever hops into the streams, but he's been a long time subscriber. Caesar Saran, who was officially the first minimalist we have here, so kudos to him. Much appreciated. Let me give him a nice round of applause here. No, that's not applause. Where's the applause at? There we go. Yes, I am still working on Elden Ring DLC. We'll be back to it later this week. But yeah, it's just been crazy busy here. My mom is finishing up flight attendant training. I have been running our business solo. I have been the one that's taking care of everything. It's a lot. Once got bots who were saying the N-words that are banning things together. Yeah, that was over the whole Stellar Blade controversy, wasn't it? Yeah, no, I watch Veridark's content pretty much every day. Honestly, the difficulty of the DLC is stupid because it's not actually that hard. It's just annoying. I've seen, so kind of what I talked about in the video that I uploaded this morning or last night, I can't remember when that was, is how I feel about it. The reality is the DLC on its own, I don't think is any harder than the base game. They just make it weird given the fact that essentially it doesn't matter how high of a level you are, you have to reset your stats, in a roundabout sort of way, because of the fact that you have to pick up those Skagitry fragments in order to make the game manageable. So it kind of means like everything you did up to that point doesn't matter anymore, It's stupid. From a dark channel, too many compared to other channels. Yeah, I mean, everyone's got different people that they enjoy, so. But yeah, no, we've already gotten over 100 viewers concurrently right now, and I think, like I said, most of those are bots. It's absolutely bonkers. 109, God, this is terrible. All right, well, we're just gonna jump into the news. There was something else I wanted to get to, but we're just gonna get right to it. So before we get to Dr. Disrespect, we're going to cover this whole thing about Square Enix and the dude, Del Walker, who decided to completely cuck and back off after he had said the thing about needing to be able to make beautiful black women in games and then having that kind of retracted. So let's get on to this topic here. Oh, too many ads. Oh, that's interesting. So YouTube is weird. I noticed, let me see, about 2 weeks ago, after having about a month where there were very few ads on any channel that I watched, now they're all back. So I don't know if there was like an ad shortage, like if they didn't have as many ads they were being paid for, so they weren't running as many. I don't know. I have no idea what the deal was. But the long and the short of it is, ads are a part of YouTube, unfortunately. It sucks, but it is what it is. Sorry, I'm having my birthday cake and some coffee. So, this one was funny because we've seen stuff like this with Disney, right? So a lot of people have finally been asking at Disney shareholder meetings, like, okay, Bob, what are we doing about this? Like, you guys are pissing off all of our customers. You're chasing off all of our existing fan bases. You just flat out are not being smart with how you're navigating our business, right? Well, Purple Sky, that's the thing, though. A lot of us, this is, hey, Alequiz, this is the apocalypse or adpocalypse. Is that what we're? That's where we're at now, I guess, right? Lack of entertainment. Okay, so here's the thing, Mahendra. Not everybody chooses to run ads on their channels. Styx Hexenhammer, on his YouTube channels, he opted out of ads. For me, I only monetize my channels because it helps offset the extra time and energy it takes to do this kind of stuff. Once you are able to finally get monetized, it legitimizes what you're doing. Unfortunately, what that means is you guys watch ads from time to time, which sucks. Trust me, I get it. I had to resubscribe to somebody, Carl Benjamin's Twitch stream today. I used my free Prime sub on him. But like the first 30 seconds I opened his stream, I'm stuck watching an ad and I hated it. So, I don't know. Do you not get ads on my videos and stuff when you watch my stuff? Because I'm sure that most people are getting ads on my stuff too. I've only had like 1 or 2 videos in the last month that got like limited ads or whatever on it. So either way, yeah, so Purple Sky, the thing is, like, if you are looking for content and you're just trying to churn out videos, then it doesn't require much investigative work. I was actually working on a video last night or night before last, that was going to get heavily into Bridge, Jedi, DEI, all the terminology that they've used, where it's coming from, what to look for next, how it's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. And unfortunately, I just didn't have the energy. I've been so exhausted, so wiped out. Like I said, today I wanted to have all this stuff ready to go for the stream today. None of it happened. None of it happened. I did not have the time or energy. So, YouTube community note feature will destroy YouTube. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be terrible. Only because of the fact that it's going to be abused. It's bad enough that they have that AI thing going on now that kind of tells you, summarizes the chat for you or whatever. Absolutely terrible feature, in my personal opinion. So this article from that Park Place, it just kind of runs through everything we've talked about the past few months about Kim Belair and Sweet Baby Inc. and everything that they do, which basically is threatens and extorts companies to hire them to fix problems that don't exist in order so that they can be this parasocial leeching company that just funnels money out of these developers' pockets, right? So then we had this shareholder meeting at Square Enix where this guy apparently asked, I'm personally happy about the shift from quantity to quality. I hope good titles will come out in the future. I'm concerned about the Canadian consulting company Sweet Baby. Square Enix is listed as a client, but is there actually a transaction there? What kind of transaction is it? Will they continue to do so in the future? And of course, the thing about this is the Japanese haven't had to deal with this to the extent that Western audiences have. Now, before I even get any further, I think it needs to be said that Japanese people are not like this bastion of traditionalism that a lot of us in the West think they are. They just simply, from what I understand, don't have nearly the amount of bullshit that we have over here. So it's not that they don't have what you would call wokeness over there. It's not that there's not progressivism. It's that it's not like the pink-haired, nose-ring wearing freaks like we have over here in the West. So the shareholder's asking for a Chrono Trigger, but he doesn't want SBI to destroy the game. Well, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, SBI will destroy any game that they touch, and like you said, that's the joke, because there's no way that happens. And so the Square Enix president, Takashi Kuru, responded with, I would like to refrain from making specific comments about individual clients as we shift from quantity to quality. Providing content that is enjoyable and safe for our customers is also part of what makes product fun. We will do our best as creators. This statement right here is really concerning to, like, personally to me. I don't speak Japanese. I can't translate. I can't read all their letters and stuff. But what I'm looking at right here is this statement, providing content that is enjoyable and safe. Like, what do they mean by that? Are they talking about safe for Western audiences, safe for modern audiences? Are they talking about safe for families? No, because it says enjoyable and safe for our customers. Who do they think their customers are, right? again, it's this idea that are they chasing the modern audience? Are they going for, traditional customer bases? Like, it's a very insidious statement in my opinion. Part of what I was looking up last night, like I was saying, they're trying to phase out the DEI terminology. The DEI terminology, you're going to start seeing less and less from all these corporations, from the top all the way down. They're going to start, we've already seen them like firing and removing these DEI coordinators and stuff, not paying them anymore, getting rid of their positions, not because they don't buy into the DEI crap. It's because of the fact that they've already embedded it into the company's core beliefs moving forward, so they no longer feel that they need to do it. And so that's where we're at. These companies, they're implementing the bridge, which I want to say is, oh crap, it's such a convoluted term. I'll have to look up bridge later, but they're replacing DEI with bridge. Bridge is DEI, except they don't say DEI anymore. And again, it's this whole, we've spent enough years now embedding this into these corporations. It's just going to be the standard moving forward, and we're not even going to have to say DEI. It's going to be like you say, I go to work. It's going to be synonymous with that. Safe for who? Yeah, exactly. DEI, ESG, Infected Dead or Alive game would be horrible. Oh, can you imagine Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball Modern Edition, like for modern audiences? Dude, all the girls would be in like one-piece bathing suits with like amputated legs, 400 pounds. They looked like the characters off of that dating game that Sweet Baby was attached to. Crap, what was the name of that game? The dating simulator with all the like the they, them, he, zers with the they were all like black and overweight. Oh my god, how can I not? That was one of the first games I talked about on here. I'm gonna have to remember. I'll have to figure it out. Make the characters have man faces. Not just man faces. The characters are gonna have like 3 chins. They're all gonna be like morbidly obese. So yeah, Del Walker. This dude has had me blocked for months now, okay? Validate. Thank you, Alequiz. Thank you. So, this guy, Del Walker, he works at, well, has worked at Naughty Dog. He has worked at Respawn. He's been attached to Apex Legends, which is super woke, like massively woke. He's been a BAFTA member, board member, I guess, for 3 years, a games committee representative, member and judge. Senior character artist at Rocksteady. And you can see Rocksteady's got the whole transgender pride flag logo here on LinkedIn. So, of course, all the virtue signaling is going hard on that one. But he came out and said this thing about how there's been a handful of times that he's pitched black women characters that looked like this woman on the left, who's very pretty. Then after 10 iterations, the concept or model comes back without a speck of the original beauty that he pitched. And again, more like the one on the right here. Think you just got harassed by a police officer? Well, was she hot? Well, my brother's a police officer, but he's in Wisconsin, and he probably wouldn't harass you. He's pretty chill. He's a sheriff in a small town in Wisconsin, so. So Del Walker then went on to say, I'm not talking about mild changes. I'm talking about pose, aura, style, softness, age, and flair. I hate giving Gamergate men fuel, but it's very difficult to pitch beautiful or vain black women in games without them coming back like grocery store aunties. There's room for both. 40-year-old aunties, exactly. So now today he has actually come out and backed off. Check this out. After some private DMs today with other black developers. So you know what this is? This is those kind of guys that, you know, they'll message him and tell him what he's doing to hurt like the black community, or that he's not black enough, or probably calling him some horrible racial slurs that apparently is okay as long as, you know, you're saying it against the right person. But yeah, he says, after some private DMs today with other black developers, I will no longer be publicly discussing black representation in games for the foreseeable. No more panels, articles, podcasts, nothing. This is not up for discussion, nor is it an invitation to try and change my mind. Cheers. This man got his virtual ass beat, okay? I've never seen somebody like cuck so hard. I mean, okay, Will Smith. Will Smith might have this guy beat, but holy crap, like what could possibly have happened to him? DEI Walker, yeah. Well, he's lucky he wasn't DIE Walker. This sounds pretty bad. The collective corrected him 100%, Alequiz. 1,000%. But yeah, it's always these guys. BAFTA committee member. 14 years of game industry experience as an artist. And you know, the thing is, it's not that he's not without talent. Like some of the stuff that I've seen in, like, for example, Apex Legends and other stuff, it's not that these guys couldn't put their talents to good use if they were steered in the right direction. The problem is that they're all a bunch of woke idiots that focus so heavily on the LGBT crap and needing to make sure they're inclusive and diverse when they're not realizing it's like, guys, like, think about it. The new Dragon Age game, right? Have you seen beyond the art, beyond everything being purple for gay and transgender people, the actual character, like, group of characters, they, honest to God, it's like they went and got one of each. We need one black person, one Indian, one Mexican, one Chinese, one, whatever, one, effeminate white man, one other. It's like, what the hell? You can have a game with mixed ethnicities and mixed diversity into it without it literally being a checkbox, which is all this crap has turned into. All academy training wasted, rest in peace, 15 years of experience. Yeah, 1,000%. You hear calling a black man Uncle Tom is fairly negative. Yeah, well, there's that, and then there's the few other ones that apparently are, it's okay for a black person to call another black person, provided they're on different sides of the political spectrum or on different sides of an argument. Then they'll whip out that word. The little four-legged black and white striped creatures out in the yard. Like, that's okay, apparently, as long as it's against somebody who has the wrong ideas. Then you can call them that. By the way, Costco has the best birthday cake. If you guys don't have Costco, the Costco wholesale warehouses, their bakery is like freaking amazing. Grocery store cake has got nothing on Costco. Which one are we up to now? Oh, so on top of that, we were talking a little bit ago about this new shooter game, Concord, right? Didn't Apex Legends have 2 female characters who were kissing on a Twitter post? Yeah, so Purple Sky, let me tell you something. I don't know if you played Apex Legends or not. I started playing it a few months after it dropped, okay? Game was solid. Awesome combat. About half dozen characters that were pretty cool, pretty interesting. And again, they were diverse. You had the big Hawaiian guy who turns out he was gay. You have the black chick with kind of this side of her head shaved up a little bit, but not too. It wasn't too cringe. Let's see. You had the African chick. You had white guy. I'm trying to think who the other original characters were, but you had a decent mix, like 7 or 8 characters, right? Game was fun. Oh, thanks, Dragon Core. Appreciate it. You almost said the slurs IRL. You can say them IRL, just don't say them on the stream. It's not that I haven't said things that you aren't supposed to say in real life. It's just that I can't say them on here. You got to be smart about that stuff. We got bakers in Germany for what does it say, for cake everywhere? Well, yeah, but I'm sure the cakes in Germany are top notch. I'm just talking about, like, compared to, like, grocery stores like Wiz. That's all. Walking Dead Telltale Season 1 protag was great. So Apex Legends was fantastic. The characters were cool. They were diverse. The game was awesome. Gameplay was awesome. The maps were awesome. Weapons were awesome. Then it got popular. Then they started making every third character gay, trans, bisexual, androgynous. They nerfed the hell out of the weapons. They got into esports, and it just went to hell. They made the game look like Fortnite. Kind of like this Concord game. So apparently now, leapfrogging over this whole thing with Del Walker, now we have this rumor that came out today saying that PlayStation Studios is seeking a non-white transgender actor to lead a new game. The story will focus on how their culture does not accept women as leaders in their community. So essentially what they're talking about is Palestinians. I mean, can we say it? The irony of the fact, and here's the thing, I've already said before, the whole Israel, Gaza, Palestine thing, I don't want to take anybody's side. I want to stay as far away from that conflict as possible and sit over here and mind my business. I don't want anybody to go to war for anybody else. Like, that's my position. But the people who are, like, pushing the hardest for the gay stuff in the video games all have Palestinian flags in their bios, and it cracks me up. I'm like, guys, just get out of your ideological bubble for 5 seconds. These people do not like gay people. They don't celebrate Pride. They don't know. No, they don't. Contra. There you go. I gotta see if the Nintendo Switch probably has Contra on the online side of it. Part of the cool thing about the Nintendo Switch is that it's got so many of those old games you can play for free. Concord looks like you took all the Go Woke Broke thumbnails and used a polymerization. Yeah, I mean this monstrosity of a creature here, between the giant mole by her eye, the heavy eyeshadow, the definitely you can tell obese body and face, the blue lipstick, and the fact that she's not just a black woman. You can tell she's a mixed black woman. It's like, dude, you checked 9 different boxes with this character, and then the armor looks horrible too. It's not just the look of the character, the whole damn package is bad. According to a new whisper on the digital streets, Sony's PlayStation Studios is currently looking to develop a new game centered on a male-to-female transgender protagonist who seeks to prove herself among the misogynistic values of her culture. So basically, it's that Predator movie Prey, right? I'm sorry, I know some people liked Prey. I don't get it. I think it was one of the worst Predator movies ever made. I've watched all of them. And by far, I would put it in my bottom 3. I would put it down there with The Predator and... I think The Predator is probably the absolute worst. The one that had Aaron Rodgers' old girlfriend. What's her face? I can't remember her name. Warhammer plus Hades plus South of Midnight. Dude, I forgot that Flintlock game is coming out till I saw somebody talking about it. Asian-made games are the last Star Wars hope of the gaming industry. Yeah, well, talking about this whole DEI thing where they're kind of rebranding it and changing the name of DEI, I don't know that it is like any actual hope left. We might be down to where we have to see the game industry completely crash and only have the indie studios left. Because personally, this stuff is so embedded, I don't know how we ever get out of this. I don't see a way out. Other than just not spending any money on the games, letting the industry crash, and then it can course correct. I mean, look, my son, he is not a computer whiz. He's not really into math, but he's smart, and he's recently started like getting into coding. I'm talking baby coding. He's learning like the ins and outs of the basics, beginning of coding. But all it's going to take is a generation of these kids that grew up with parents like me, or like anybody else who's just like sick and tired of all this crap. And those kids are going to grow up into adults who are going to figure out how to code and make their own games. And they're not going to be, beholden to the way that the AAA industry has gone. Oh no, cake is super moist, and it's mostly at this point a piece of frosting. So thanks, Gregory, appreciate it. So word of this title's development was first raised on June 20th, courtesy of the noted Spanish language PlayStation fan account Notoplay. It's always funny. It's always funny that it's these like French or Spanish accounts that get all these leaks. There are so many of them. It's like, how is this possible? It's always these non-Western or non-English speaking accounts that get all the good stuff. Detailing a casting call they would later purport to have witnessed firsthand, the account explained that the game was looking to feature a girl of 20 to 30 years of age, of dark skin and transgender, who was an expert in knives as its protagonist. I'm confused. Are they looking for somebody who is in real life a 20 to 30-year-old dark-skinned transgender woman who's also an expert at knives? Or are they trying to find just the voice actress that they can use, or voice actor, I should say, for the character in the game? Like, what are they trying to find here? Oh, man. A game about school, I'm good. See, my kids, Pokemon is not their favorite game. They love all of the different Pokemon cartoons. They've watched all of them, apparently. I guess they have gotten through every series of Pokemon that's ever existed. Wow. That being said, they have like 2 Pokemon games, and they have not finished either one. So it's really weird. When cancer reaches bone level, it can't be removed. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Frosting tastes like plastic. Well, okay, that depends on the frosting. If it's like really good actual buttercream frosting made from scratch with butter and sugar and all that, then it shouldn't taste like plastic. If you ever get the tubs of pre-mixed frosting for like doing decoration on a cake, like from like Michael's has the little Wilton, like 1 pound tub of decorators frosting. That shit tastes like plastic, 100%. Hates Pokemon games, loves the cards. My kids have the cards and don't know how to properly play. So that's a really weird one. So you can see here it says un casting para un juego de, yeah, I don't speak Spanish. Chica de unos 20 to 30 años, de piel morena e transgénero, experta en cuchillos. Oh yeah, the cuchillo, that'd be a knife, right? Historia tratada, yeah. No habla español, ich spreche Deutsch. Well, ein bisschen. Met with an understandable wave of skepticism in response to their post. Note to play would return to the topic 2 days later to clarify some things. Addressing some of the most common criticism leveled against them, the news account asserted it was never bait, it is 100% real. The info was taken from a page where you have to register to see the casting calls. I claim that it is a PlayStation Studios game because the casting director's history 99% of the time works for Sony Interactive, I guess, SIE, Sony Interactive Entertainment. Trust me, guys, the account said, I would never go into the mud without being 100% sure of things with a sensitive topic like this. You've lost all your Pokemon cards? Well, I never had any. Most games have chapters aged to 20s to late 20s and books if the audience is young adults, teens. My kids love books. My kids love reading. Honestly, at this point, my daughter has read through, my daughter's 9, and this year alone, she read through the entire Harry Potter series. I think she's halfway through Chronicles of Narnia. I'm trying to get her to read The Hobbit. I want her to read The Hobbit and then maybe try Lord of the Rings. Ooh, coffee's getting cold. Gross. Unfortunately for those curious and those skeptical, no to play is yet to provide any further details regarding the casting call, including the identity of its casting director. Yeah. Oh, more cringe. Look at that dude. Game is going to be awful. Switch to Yu-Gi-Oh! When you matured? I never got into that. I never did any of that. Yeah, the funny thing is I never read... This is the weird thing. I grew up with 3 older brothers, and they all read the Narnia books, or at least a couple of them did. So I always got the story secondhand, so I didn't actually read the books for myself. But apparently, yeah, the end of the book is what? The kids are like on a train crash, and they all die and go to heaven, essentially all at the same time, or some terrible thing like that, I guess. I can't remember. Wheel of Time. So in October, I went to a buddy's wedding that I had never met in person. I met him through Twitch. And my wife and I flew out there, and we were in his wedding. And the funny thing is, he's a huge, huge reader. And Wheel of Time is one of those series that he loved. But unfortunately, just like The Witcher, just like any other show like Rings of Power, although Rings of Power is not based on a book, technically. It's based on fan fiction. But yeah, Wheel of Time apparently is one of those ones that they completely butchered. So, how'd you get him to eat? Did you put some frosting on his dog food? Finally, a day and a half later, he's finally hungry enough to eat. Narnia is... Oh, okay, yeah, transported to another world. I can't remember. All I know is, yeah, it just like ends abruptly or whatever from what I heard. So... I need to take more time to read, but I need more time in general. I still have books that I got for our trip in March that we went on that I haven't read. I'm not surprised. Oh, yeah, the cat stole my balloon. My sister-in-law brought me a giant balloon apparently when I was at work, and the cat's been dragging it around the house. Most kids couldn't get into it on the East Coast. That Bible Belt ran Yu-Gi-Oh! Down almost as fast as Pokemon. I need to get that book about Darth Revan. Also, people have said the book about Darth Plagueis is good, right? So, yeah, it was a bad time. So, I was born in 86, grew up in the 90s, and I remember when everyone freaked out about The Matrix and thought The Matrix caused the Columbine school shooting. And then there was Harry Potter, and all the Christians hated Harry Potter. And my mom hated Harry Potter because she thought it was satanic. And then it's like, well, I grew up not knowing if it was satanic or not. I turned into a teenager. I watched the Matrix movies for myself. I'm like, these are good movies. What are you talking about? Still, I went on to be more of a Lord of the Rings fan. But then my kids all read Harry Potter. I watched half the movies. I'm like, these are good. Like, no, they're not the greatest movie ever. No, they're not the greatest story ever. But unfortunately, so many times you have that satanic panic culture that kicks in. Well, now, there are legitimately things that I believe are demonic and that you should definitely keep away from your kids and your family, and those things do exist. But unfortunately, a lot of times they get labeled like that simply because of magic or spells or wizards or witches or whatever. They throw that on and it's like it never loses that stigma, unfortunately. Light novel is very popular in Japan, like Sword Art Online. Oh, okay. Harry Potter movies cut a lot of content from the books. Yeah, my daughter was actually filling us in on that because, like I said, she's read through all of them. She's like a power reader. And she was explaining how there's a lot more context in the books due to the fact that the book can expand on things a lot easier. So, yeah, so I read all the Extended Universe books to my knowledge. I don't think there was a single one that I missed. And then came the New Jedi Order, which I hated. But even then, the New Jedi Order would have been better than Disney's Star Wars, without question. For sure, real threats, most people just chasing fame, trashing the biggest thing. Yeah, unfortunately, that happens a lot. And look, there'll be plenty of things that I'll shit on for years. Like, okay, dumb thing. When I was a teenager, I did not want to watch Shrek. You know why I didn't want to watch Shrek? Because I hated the cast. Because I didn't like Mike Myers. I wasn't a huge fan of Eddie Murphy. And it was like, I don't want to watch it. Whatever. Years later, I finally watched it, and I'll be damned if I don't think Shrek is one of the best animated movies of all time. But for whatever reason, it's one of those things where I just had this thing as a teenager where I just was like flat out, no, I don't want to watch it. It looks stupid. Well, I think there's a lot of superstition in general, Mahendra, that isn't necessarily valid. I believe there is definitely demons and certain amount of Satanism that exists. But again, just like how somebody who claims to be the Satanic Temple, they're not actually worshiping anything when you all boil it down to it. So that's a lot of gray area. I don't want to go off into the weeds on that one. Oh, Shrek is fantastic. Shrek is great. Yeah, let's jump over, though, to this Dr. Disrespect thing, because there's so much that's just, blowing up by the minute. In fact, I needed to check. Nicholas Diorio said that something big was supposed to drop at midnight on the East Coast, and it's already 10 o'clock here, so 1 o'clock on the East Coast, and I'm not seeing anything. Let me check and see if he's updated anything at all. I don't think I'm following him on Twitter. I don't even know his freaking Twitter handle. Diorio? I have no idea. The sad thing is, now that there is so much porn on Twitter, I can't just sit on a stream and go through Twitter, like what's trending and all that, because of the fact that, literally one thing could come across my screen and I'm screwed. Nicholas. I don't even know how to spell his name. I'm watching Star Wars with your dad. Wouldn't let your son watch it now. My kids have not watched these Star Wars sequels. They have not watched the prequels yet either, and that's only because I don't want to have to sit through them. I really don't. I couldn't stand the prequels. I'm so confused. Why can I not find Nicholas Diorio's Twitter account? This is completely whacked. Let me try bookmarks. I know I had him somewhere. It's ironic that he actually got disrespected. Yeah, it's a painful irony. And look, here's the thing. People think that I've been standing for him and shilling for him all day. No, I don't know that he's not guilty. That's not the point. It's not that I think that there's no chance on on Earth that he did what they said he did. There's so much hearsay surrounding it, and that's really what I'm sick and tired of. I'm sick and tired of everybody. You hear one person spread something online, and all of a sudden it's he is or he isn't. Whatever happened to nuance and context and waiting for evidence? Let me see. I think I've got something of Nicholas Diorio's saved on here. I'm just scrolling through my bookmarks. Hang on. This is insane. Holy crap. Let me just try this. Well, he should be one of the top accounts here. Here we go. Okay. Nicholas Diorio. Oh, I was close to spelling it properly. Yeah, there hasn't been any update at that. He said that he was told by somebody that there'd be like a nuke dropping at midnight about all this, and so far there's been no update. Surprise, surprise. I mean, I'm not shocked. So much of this is just people trying to get their 15 minutes of fame because it's a juicy topic right now. Yeah, just some evidence. That's it. I just, like, give me some screenshots. Give me some DMs. Give me something that paints a better picture of what we're looking at. And I'll get into the reason why. So let me get to where we were last night. Hang on. Yeah, so the Review Tech Meltdown thing, that shit's wild. So, okay, the only thing I knew about Review Tech USA, Rich, was that he had some beef with the freaking quartering, right? That's all I knew. All I knew is that he and the quartering hate each other. But now apparently he hates Smash JT and this other guy, 8-Bit Eric or whatever his name is, or I can't keep track of all the YouTuber beefs. It's like, not only do I not have a clique or a group of guys that I run in, I'm completely separate to everybody because, like, I'm friendly with a few YouTubers like Dread Roberts, Smash JT, and that's about it as far as like the more notable ones. But like, I'm not part of anybody's hangout group or I mean, okay, I'm in one of John Del Rosa's DM groups, but I don't ever go on his live streams. So, I mean, I don't know anybody who watches Review Tech USA, but he had like 900 live viewers at one point. Spyware PC for DSP. You know, guys, I live like less than an hour from DSP. I tried to get somebody to pay me to go interview him. I'm like, hell, I have a buddy that was like super obsessed with him. I'm like, you want me to go talk to him? I can look him up. I can try to find him and go interview him or something. Like, I'd do it for $50, $100, whatever. That's cool. I wouldn't want to talk to him. He seems like a very weird, disturbed individual, but all right. Okay, so I put this on the blog on my website last night, talking about all the updates that we had as far as the whole Dr. Disrespect situation had gone. We got this guy, Cody Connors, who had been an executive of sorts, I guess, at Twitch. Some sort of guy worked in their partners department. And he put out this tweet saying he got banned because he got caught sexting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read it in plain text. Case closed, gang. Now, here's the weird thing. If I open another browser and I go to Twitch right now, the whole thing is that this Twitch Whispers thing no longer works. They shut it down, right? Whispers still exists on Twitch. If I go here in Whispers and I shoot a message to, let me see, do I have another? Yeah, I've got another account there. I can still send a whisper. So I don't know what they're talking about as far as like the shutdown or the the Whispers product that's no longer being used. It still exists. So I have no idea. Hey, Burner, thanks, appreciate it. But anyways, apparently they're saying that the Twitch Whispers product no longer exists, but it's still on Twitch. So I don't understand. Maybe it was a different format at the time. I don't know. Powers that be could read in plain text, case closed, gang. And then I say he followed up his accusation by saying no one made the wrong decision, F him and his boys. Dr. Disrespect would eventually put out several statements regarding the accusations, although he was careful not to acknowledge anything specific. In a response to Jake Lucky on Twitter, the doc maintained that he did nothing illegal and that Twitch paid him what he was owed. And you can see right here, he said, Jake, seriously, I get it. It's a hot topic, but this has been settled. No wrongdoing was acknowledged and they paid out the whole contract. And a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of you guys saw this, jumped on this whole no wrongdoing was acknowledged. Oh God, what the hell? I didn't mean to open that. I guess it's because I clicked on it. that was something that everybody freaked out about and was like, oh my god, he just said no wrongdoing was acknowledged. He did it. He admitted to it right there. Twitch has no age verification and Doc was going to sue them because he got catfished. I mean, maybe that was it. I saw the quartering had a bunch of theories about it. Like somebody messaged him and he didn't know their age, or like you said, got catfished. I don't know. But we'll get into the whole age thing in a minute. This is going to take a little while to unpack. I probably should have started with this one. I don't know that we're going to get to the James O'Keefe thing. We'll try to keep that on the back burner. Following the predictable internet firestorm, one Twitter user made some disturbing discoveries about Cody Connor's recent history on the social media platform. Madam Savvy on Twitter called out Cody for a tweet from 2023 where he claimed that he would reveal the reason Dr. Disrespect got banned if enough people purchased tickets to his concert. And he did this multiple times throughout the course of 2023, saying like, if this concert sells out, I'll say why he got banned, or if you come to this show, I might get crazy and say why he got banned, all this stuff, right? So then yesterday, at the end of the day, he kept changing his bio to say, getting sued any second now, might be getting sued, definitely not getting sued, all this stuff. And then he put out these tweets saying, those 3 tweets warrant admonishment, maybe more than 3. The stands trying to dig stuff up have been so underwhelming that I presume they missed something. I apologize for it all because it's worth apologize for. I don't know that this guy speaks English as a first language. His English is very broken on here. He went on to end it by saying, oh, let's just open the whole tweet. Make it easier. That said, I am the least sued I've ever been. Guys, lawyers work weekends. I don't think they had a few things they just needed to get to before they circled back to this. I'm also a little irked at Jake, who is very clearly trying to split the difference with what he thinks is half of his potential audience, but also I deserve to feel bad about the things he's flagged. I just do. I don't know what he means, the things he's flagged. But I also know Jake is racing to verify that screenshot from the world's leader in multiplayer entertainment is legit. Enforcement ID, and then he gives some sort of weird ID code. And things are dragging on. Knowing who I was racing, I would probably put out some content too. No idea what he's alluding to, other than apparently there were people trying to substantiate like the actual legitimacy of these whispers or whatever. He had previously put this one out, and this is the weird thing. Same tweet, but the second half of it said, exacerbating that is the fact that I know Jake has been trying to verify leaked screenshots from the TNS section of the world's leader in multiplayer entertainment since yesterday afternoon. He's racing a couple other more talented people. Jake, all of this is really silly, but the version of that document I got has your team's watermark on it, so maybe you check in. I don't understand what he's trying to say there. I have no idea. At the end of the day, neither Twitch nor Dr. Disrespect have come forward to reveal the actual reason for his ban, as it has already been 4 hours. As it had already been 4 long, exhausting years since his initial ban in August of 2020. I doubt we'll hear the exact reason anytime soon. That was the little article I put on the website last night before I went to bed. And now today, we have this complete shit show going on. Here, let me catch up on the chat. Hang on. Does everybody know about the sulfur balls that can be found around the ashen waste of Sodom and Gomorrah? Mount Sinai's top is completely burnt. Very strange, isn't it? I need to get somebody modded in here so we can ban these guys. Hang on. Can I do that from here? I don't think I can do that from here. Damn. Oh, well, just ignore that guy. Clearly, he's just spamming. That they tried to get him in, all his words were always up, and they tried an aha, got you, but they didn't. They want him off their platform. Well, and we'll get into that too. A lot of people talking about why doesn't he just deny it? Why doesn't he, say, well, I can't talk about Twitch, but I'll say that this for a fact didn't happen. All that stuff. It's a very weird situation. So that Park Place got an article out today saying video game developer Midnight Society severs relationship with Dr. Disrespect, aka Guy Beam, after heinous accusation levied against him. And so today, this tweet came out earlier this afternoon saying, on Friday evening, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders, Guy Beam, aka Dr. Disrespect. We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved. And in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we needed to act. For this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately. While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and families we've employed along with our community of players. Yeah, I'll get you modded, Burner. Don't worry about it. Just, I don't want to have to deal with all that right now. Okay, well, Eridgar, that's great for you, Tribe of Levi, House of Ithamar. What does that have to do with what we're talking about right now? Flat Earth win. Don't get me started on the whole Flat Earth stuff, guys. I love a good conspiracy. I love anything that goes against the grain. The Flat Earth thing, I just cannot get on top of. I can't get on board with that. So essentially they put up this statement saying, after we talked to the parties involved, we decided we needed to act. Whatever that means, I don't know. Because again, if he did, oh, thanks, Blu-ray. If he did commit a crime, which, okay, we'll get to, I was going to wait till later, but I looked it up. Not statute of limitations. Age of consent in California, 18 years old. Surprisingly, right? I mean, I would have thought that California would have been 16 like Washington. I wish everything was 18 and up, or maybe like 21 and up, to be honest. Hollow Earth is more interesting. I'll have to get on that one. So California's age of consent is 18. Anything younger than that is considered statutory rape, or anything that's, inappropriate and criminal has to be charged as a criminal act. So clearly if this was true, it would have to be somebody who was under 18. Now, the one thing I will say on this, and I hope this doesn't get clipped and taken out of context, I have a daughter who's 9. I would never want her dating somebody if she was like, say, 17, 18 years old, who was 20, 30 years older than her. I think that's gross. However, it's not a crime if you're 18 dating somebody who's 90. It's disgusting, but it's not a crime. Unfortunately, we look at this age of consent thing as, well, we have to put the boundary somewhere. We have to put an age on it, so we pick 18. Some states, like where I live, is 16. I think that's disgusting and way too low. I think it should be at least 18. I mean, like I said, I think maybe we just raise the, voting age, marriage, whatever, to all to 21. Make everybody happy. Make sure everyone's an adult. But that being said, there is a difference, at least in my opinion, between somebody who is either tricked or naive to the fact that somebody is not quite 18 yet, but is a very mature 17 and 11 months, versus somebody who is attracted to people who are 12 years old and younger. I think there needs to be a distinction between the two. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, the absolute best way to avoid these situations, first and foremost, is to not get involved in them, obviously. If he was messaging somebody who was of a questionable age, the first mistake he made was sending the message or responding to the message, right? That was the first mistake he made. He never should have done that. But beyond that, the reality is there is always the chance that he wasn't aware of how old the person was, or he was catfished or whatever, or the whole thing is made up. So again, with no evidence being presented, it's unfortunate that he's not even getting the benefit of the doubt at this point. Just load shotgun like anime father. I don't have shotguns. I've got more accurate weapons. So my daughter is well taken care of. Okay, but Blu-ray, if it's a Twitch cover-up, what are they covering up? Are they covering up an actual crime? Okay, so I'm okay with that theory, that he did something wrong and that Twitch covered it up. Both parties are guilty. They sign an NDA, which you're not allowed to do, to cover up a crime. It's a criminal act to try to use an NDA to suppress a crime, and so both parties are guilty. Despite the fact that I don't know that he's guilty, or that I wouldn't be surprised if he's innocent, I'm not 100% convinced that he's not guilty. I just think he needs to be treated fairly until evidence is actually presented. And if we can't see the evidence and there's no charges against him, then what the hell are we supposed to think? Well, yeah, and Gregory, it's getting worse and worse these days. It seems like the people who are most protected are the criminals themselves. That there's no question in my mind that the justice system is completely screwed up from head to toe, and more often than not, the criminal is going to be treated better than the victim. I mean, Burner, that's also possible. Again, I'm not going to put words in his mouth because, look, it's not that Dr. Disrespect is the squeakiest clean guy on the planet. He has had his own shit in the past. So it's entirely possible he fell prey to his instincts. I'm not going to say he didn't. And if the person was under 18, and he was aware of it, that's a problem. That's a legal problem. But again, if it's a legal problem, why has Twitch not come forward in 4 years? You don't just get to say, he did something criminal, we're going to agree not to talk about it. You can't do that. Elections in prison while in some countries. Technically in the US, you can too, I think. Doing more with a lawyer than an officer. Yeah. Anyways, so this was from earlier today. This was at 2:48 p.m. It says, Dr. Disrespect seems to read a text message in this clip, which leads to his entire mood changing. This came before the Midnight Society announcement. And I want to watch these videos because all of these videos kind of paint a picture of how his mood changed throughout the course of the day. And we saw this before. If you remember, back in 2020, he was talking about stuff he wasn't supposed to talk about. At the time, he was talking about COVID. He was talking about lockdowns. He was talking about conspiracy theories, you know, the words that you're not supposed to even utter. And now are basically accepted as fact. But at the time, he was just some crazy nut job who's sharing right-wing conspiracy theories. And it's like, it wasn't even political. He was just sharing an opinion. I don't think Dr. Disrespect has ever talked politics. I don't think he's a political guy when it comes to his opinions. He doesn't share those. But, you know, so he did that, and then his stream ended really weird. I remember watching it. The whole day it was like blowing up the entire internet, like what the hell happened? And, you know, a couple months later, he was like gone after initially starting to talk about that stuff. So let's go from here. This is when he apparently got the text message that Midnight Society was severing ties with him.
You know how we run things here.
Poor Pal World. I mean, you can just see his face. Everything shifts. Oh, you can't see his face now. Hang on. I mean, he just goes quiet and goes back to checking his phone over and over and over again, you know? Might get blacklisted in the Japanese industry. Yeah, Japan is 16. I hate that the age of consent is 16. Actually, the funny thing is, apparently that's better than it used to be in the U.S. Apparently in the U.S. it used to be much lower than that, which is disgusting, absolutely vile. But again, I wasn't the one making the laws at the time. So Grums had responded to Midnight Society saying, what parties did they speak to? There are none except for Cody and Dr. Disrespect. That's just one guy's word versus the accused. Well, again, I don't think Grums is getting the whole context. When they talk parties, they talk to Twitch. That's who it was. If a woman propositions you, it's looked down on to refuse. Well, if I was single and in Japan, I got that Asian persuasion going on, I probably wouldn't want to say no either. What's in the box? Yeah. So Grum says this was not mutual agreement. If it was, Dr. Disrespect would have been ready and led with a statement at the same time. This looks like a knee-jerk unilateral move. And you can tell it was a unilateral knee-jerk reaction because he was taken out, just like it back in 2020 when he was finding out that he was done. And you could see it in real time. That's exactly what happened today. Midnight Society is not a court of law, regardless of the truth. It's reckless for them to make this statement and make it sound authoritative on the matter. You can choose to distance yourself from a co-founder, but you don't use language like this that implies guilt without opening yourself up to big legal problems. I don't think Midnight Society is facing legal issues. I think their statement was fine, but again, I'm not a lawyer. I think they are just doing what they think they need to do to cover their ass in case there's something worse, you know? So the Quartering has been tweeting out a lot today, because he's had a lot of issue with the way this is being handled. And he said, Dear Daniel Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, I know as the CEO of Twitch, you must have some sort of answer as to why you protected a alleged, I'm going to say alleged because I don't want to get this taken out of context, protected an alleged child predator for the last 4 years. I mean, since all these journalists know that Dr. Disrespect was guilty of predating on a minor, I thought you would like to comment. And that's, again, another thing. If Twitch is going to let this story ride, and because of the NDA, for whatever reason, the NDA couldn't possibly have anything to do with the crime because that's not valid. You couldn't get a judge to sign off on that. But we'll just roll with that. If the NDA involved criminal activity, then why is Twitch at this point, now that the information's been leaked, not releasing a statement, not commenting on it? And Grums should save his ammo for Dragon Age. Grums is enjoying his moment, okay? He got famous. Look, I was not even aware of who he was until he did the tweet about freaking Starfield, about the menu screen, right? Saying that the menu screen was indicative of a game that was rushed, the game that wasn't finished, and then he turned out to be right. So all the people that were attacking him, he was spot on. So that's where I actually first found out who Grums was. Now apparently he's like the leader of the culture war and all this and stuff, and it's like, I don't necessarily trust the guy super ecstatically. Like, I'm not a Grums fan, but I use what he puts out there, and I give him the benefit of the doubt. And like I said, I've kind of looked through Nick Calandra's investigation of Grums and stuff, and all I can say about Grums, I think he's definitely enjoying his moment in the spotlight. No shade on that. No harm, no foul. I don't know that game that he's been working on in crowdfunding is ever getting finished at this point. But then again, there's comic book artists who've been crowdfunding for 4 years and still not delivered a product. So, I mean, I'm not going to judge. Whatever. Eric, you're still going on about this. House of Ithmar, priestly bloodline of Aaron, the high priest to Yao. Okay. All right. Thanks, Erigar. Appreciate your time. Twitch is saving face as much as they can. Drops now that they hit anything in this. Well, that's the thing, though. How can you save face by not saying anything when you've got this guy who is being attacked as some sort of pedo? But like, it doesn't make sense. Twitch looks worse for not commenting on it. Psychroma. Wait, what? An indie title from Weird Ghost? They actually have a game coming out? House used to be a good show. House was a good show up until the final 3 seasons. They should have ended it when he started having a heart and acting like a real human being, and then all of a sudden, the next season was shit. Grumps has a lot of good experience in the games industry. It's just that, unfortunately, a lot of people take everything he says as doctrine, and look, we all get it wrong, okay? Every one of us gets it wrong at some point or another. It's funny that he should save his ammo for Dragon Age. That's pretty hilarious. Yeah, exactly. We all screw up. 100% we all screw up. Wild, do you think that that silence is their best option at this point still, really? Twitch broke the NDA to talk to Midnight Society, or they're complete morons. Well, I mean, I believe that they're complete morons. That's where my vote goes. Yeah, Oblivion, I was live streaming to both channels to test it out to see if it actually works. I was telling Mahendra earlier, I don't always get opportunities to make content for both the podcast channel and the gaming channel. And so when I'm going to cover stuff that I would post on either one, I wanted to see if it would actually be productive use of my time to have a live stream available for both audiences, and then that way the stream is available on both channels. I don't know if I'll do it in the future. It's a little confusing because then I have to be logged into both channels at the same time to do any sort of moderation, and that's a complete pain in the ass. So I'll probably hold off on doing that in the future. But I know I can do it now. That's the good thing. Let me see. It's a DEI woke Psychroma. Huh. Yeah, I've had 2 channels for a while. So, okay. Before we continue on this, especially since it's my birthday and my wife's birthday, we got the same birthday 1 year apart, I have to give her a lot of props, a lot of credit, because the name Minimal Effort was actually her idea. Can I change the color of the logo? One says podcast, one says live. And so here was my thinking. Okay. This channel, when I was first just streaming on Twitch, doing video game streams, thinking I was going to be a gamer, was this YouTube channel was just for making like video game related content. And then it got into like weird political stuff. And then I just basically a couple years ago was like, I don't know what to do with it, right? So then my wife and I made the podcast channel because she wanted to spend time actually sitting down recording stuff with me, like making, talk about movies, TV shows, video games, politics, whatever. And the first few videos on our channel, on the podcast channel, are her and I talking. But she's been so busy with work, with the kids and all that stuff that she just doesn't have time to do this anymore. So it's been like a solid year where I had to pick up the channel and be like, well, I haven't done anything with the channel since you stopped, so I'm just going to start making videos on my own. And in the meantime, I'll just stream on Twitch when I do the live streams. So what I decided was this channel we're on right now was going to be the live stream channel for the podcast channel. But that never happened. I couldn't consistently make myself get on and do it. So then I was like, you know what? I'll just put gaming content over here. We'll talk about games. Maybe if I play a video game, we'll put it on here. And then all of a sudden, Sweet Baby Inc., Gamergate, everything kind of coalesced all at once. And my channel just blew up overnight. The video that got me monetized, I think got like 66,000 views. So then I was like, well, okay, now I actually have 2, part-time YouTube channels that I have to maintain. So it's just, yeah, Eloquiz, sorry, I should have told you to hop over on the other one. When you were live, the new YouTube bezel cover. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so sorry, that was the long answer to a short question. But that's the reason that both channels have a similar name. This one's Minimal Effort Gaming, or Minimal Effort Live is the actual URL. Whereas the other one is Minimal Effort Podcast, which is going to be more reserved for entertainment and maybe political stuff. And this one's more for, gaming related content, gaming news, gaming journalism, that kind of stuff. So I just figured I'm not getting any videos done tonight. We'll just live stream to both and confuse the hell out of everybody, apparently, because that's apparently what I'm good at. So, of course, no response. In fact, if we go to the CEO of Twitch, go to his Twitter feed, 9 hours ago, let's see, something about some guy named Zach Bryan. Yeah, he doesn't tweet much. Last tweet before that was June 18th. Pride Unity Guild. This guy's looking rough. This man here is the CEO of Twitch. Damn. You found the origin story very interesting. Oh, good. Yeah, well, honestly, Mahendra, today was a very normal day, unfortunately. Worked, stressful day, as they have been since I've been working full-time by myself. And we had dinner. My wife's parents came over and chatted for like an hour. Kids played out with the neighbors out in the yard for like the entire night. I cleaned the cat box, did the dishes. And then hopped on here after the kids went to bed. So... yeah, Blu-ray, those are bots, man. Not a single person chatting on Twitter. Those are freaking bots. That CEO streaming on dial-up 100%. Methed out Richard Branson. Oh my god. All right, so Quartering also asked Rod Breslow, who, by the way, Rod Breslow over at Slasher, put this tweet out 4 years ago. Now, it's also important that you know Cody Connors, who is the guy that started this entire thing, is buddies with Rod Breslow over here, okay? This reporter. So the Quartering asked, why would Slasher, Rod Breslow, protect a child predator for 4 years? Are you pro-child predation? And this tweet from June 27th of last year, from 2020, almost 4 solid years ago, says, look, for several hours now, I have been told from credible sources the reason Dr. Disrespect has been banned. However, due to the importance and sensitivity around the subject, I have refrained from going on it. I don't feel comfortable with it currently. This man supposedly sat on this information for 4 years and said nothing. And he's not the only one. No worries, Mahendra. Appreciate you hanging out, buddy. So yeah, this dude sat on this for 4 years, as well as every other journalist saying the exact same thing. You got Tipster over here. Tipster, who I have never interacted with. I don't even know anything about Tipster other than he's trying to be like best buddies with Keffels now. And apparently Tipster is like on his journey to becoming trans or in a trans relationship or some... all I've seen is some very strange situations from Tipster. Things that I've read online, and I'm like, that's disturbing. So he quote tweeted Midnight Society and said the DocZone development studio has kicked him to the curb after an internal investigation citing facts that are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept. And y'all still out here like, we gotta wait for proof though. They're trying to extort Twitch or Doc for money. I mean, maybe. Yeah, Burner, you tell the bots what's up. CEO said some weird story about aliens when asked about what happened to Doc a few months ago, trying to be funny, but that was just weird. The guy doesn't look normal, okay? He doesn't look like he could have a normal conversation. Hey, I'm gonna make life easy. I'm ending the stream on the podcast channel so we can just focus on this one. Let's go and end. All right, now I don't have to have that other tab open. Make life easy for myself.